So today we are going to start with the types of dredging, and we had seen a short overview in the last lecture that just the names I had showcased that what comes under the types of dredging. You can have it in three types: mechanical, hydraulic, and hybrid. And then under each type, I have taken some three examples of each case just for uniformity purpose. And I had told you at that time also that there are different kinds of dredging. Other than this, also you might find one or two, but these are the ones which are found predominantly or used predominantly in most of the dredging works all over the world. So to start with, we'll start with this first type today, that is the mechanical type of dredging. And if you go by the classification, so you can very easily guess the purpose or guess the description of this type of dredging, that mechanical dredging is nothing but whatever types will be included in it, it will be involving some mechanism, some movement of some accessories using some mechanical or using some mechanisms which you might have heard of or studied, such as the pulley mechanism, okay, in which you have a rotating pulley and over which you have a rope fixed, and then with that help you can just move some of the accessories attached to it. So that is one of the mechanism that I'm talking about. So such type of methods, they will come under this mechanical type of dredging. So the first one in this is the grab or the clamshell type. So grab dredging, what I have shown here is the grab dredger. Okay? Now you have already seen what is the dredger in the last lecture. So dredger is nothing but that ship-like equipment or ship-like structure that you have, floating structure, on which you have some accessories and some instruments which will help you to take out or excavate that material and then carry it to the barges and then dispose it of. Okay? So that is a dredger, and this is a grab dredger. So in grab dredger, what you have is mainly that floating structure. It is a barge or a hooper, you can say. So what is a barge? It is nothing but a sort of a huge raft. You all know raft. So it's like a huge raft kind of structure, but it is floating and it can be attached with motors so that you can navigate easily using it, okay, through it. So you have a large floating barge, and over that barge, it's an open platform. Okay, like unlike ships, barges don't have any kind of vertical walls or restrictions on the deck. So the deck is almost open on all sides. So over that barge, the main equipment that we have for our dredging purpose, that is a revolving crane. Okay, now this is just like any other crane that you must have seen in your day-to-day life if you have gone through the city, okay, or nearby area. So you have a crane, but the only thing is it's revolving, that it can revolve in almost 360 degree. Okay, in this case 360 degree will not be used because at 360 degree or exactly back of it you have some other kind of structure, but it can rotate 360 degree as well. Okay. And this is the boom of that crane, okay, or the truss like structure what we see, and over that you have a pulley arrangement. Now as I told you, this mechanical type of dredging, in all the types you will be having some kind of mechanism, okay, which will allow the movement of some accessories which we are using for the dredging purpose. So in this case, the accessory or the equipment that we are using is a grab bucket or a clamshell. Okay. So this clamshell, you will get a closer look at it in the next few slides. But this clamshell or a bucket, grab bucket, it is, from the name itself, you can infer that it's a bucket, but the only difference is it can open and close. Okay. So at this moment in this very sketch, what you see, it is a closed one. Okay. And then you see two strings attached to it, okay, or two ropes. This is rope number 1, suppose, and this is rope number 2. Okay. Now this rope number 1, if you see, it is attached to this pulley arrangement at the end of this boom. So you have a pulley arrangement here, as well as you have a pulley arrangement over here. Okay. And here you will be having some counteracting weights, which will move the pulley up and down. Okay. So the lowering and upward movement or down and up movement of the bucket will be done using the movement of this, or by varying the tension in this string number 1 or rope number 1 which is attached. So as we know, it's dredging, we have to dredge the material which is submerged under the water or submerged in water. So for that purpose, whatever instrument we are lowering down or we are using, we have to lower it down till the base or a bed of the water body, and then we have to collect the material. So for lowering and subsequently for the up movement, you need some arrangement. So that arrangement is possible due to this string number 1. Okay, this string. And then, as I told you, now you can see the bucket is closed. But if in order to collect the material, you have to fill this bucket. Okay? So in general, if you have to fill a bucket, if I tell you to go to your garden and fill a bucket of soil, so what you will do is you go to garden with 2 equipments. One is the bucket itself, another is a spade. Okay? So with the help of a spade, you will dig out the soil and collect it, and then you will put it in the bucket. But now here, we are just having bucket, we don't have a spade. Okay? We don't have a different arrangement to excavate the soil and then put it into the bucket. So we have to use such a bucket which will be self-excavating. That bucket will excavate the material, collect it, and then simultaneously it will close the bucket as well. Okay? So that is type of arrangement. So for that opening of that bucket, this rope number 2 is used. Okay? The one which I have numbered here, rope number 2. So this is used for opening of a bucket. Now, if you see that rope number 2 is attached only to one part or one side of the bucket. Okay. So if this dotted line that I'm drawing, so if this is the opening face of the buckets, both the halves. So one half is just joined to this string number 2 or rope number 2, and then that rope is also connected to this boom. Okay, and here also you have a mechanism which will pull that rope. So once this rope is pulled, rope number 2 is pulled, then this half of the bucket, it will move in this direction, and then it will be open, okay, or the bucket will open. So this is in short, the working mechanism of this grab dredger. Okay? And the other accessories, what you see over here, it might be the control tower. Okay? The person operating the crane, he will be sitting right over here, but overall operation, it will be looked after from this station. Okay? And then one more terminology, what you see here is the mooring winches. So mooring winches is nothing but, if you focus on this part, so here you can see a anchor like structure, okay, at both the ends. So during dredging, you have to keep the dredger stable. So for that, you need to anchor it in the middle of the water body. So for anchoring purpose, you have to lower that anchor. So for lowering purpose, you have a winch kind of thing there. So on the right side, I have shown this figure of a winch. So winch is nothing but a heavy strength rope which is wound onto a roller, and then it is unwound using, or it is unwound using a electrical operator which is over here. Okay? So it is wound and unwound using that. So that is nothing but a winch. Okay? So it has nothing to do with the actual dredging, apart from the thing that it just anchors your barge. Okay? So it was mentioned over here, mooring winch, in this figure. So that's why I showed you this. So this is your grab dredger. Okay. Now, one more thing. In unit number 3, whatever presentation I'll be sharing, so almost in most of the slides, the theory part or the written sentences are very less. Okay. A purpose for this is construction techniques. As I told you, these techniques, those are very well understood, if you see the videos in the lectures or sort of like that, but during this online mode, it is difficult to show the videos. We had tried it once in the railway engineering, but it didn't work. So that's why I will be including more photographs instead of theory, and I leave it to you to read the theory from the books itself. So once you understand the concept also, so the theory is nothing but you can write it in your own words as well. Okay, you obviously using the technical terms. So if you have now understood this working of grab dredger, so you can just write the theory related to it. If it is asked that what is grab dredging or clamshell dredging, so you can write the components of that grab dredger, that is a revolving crane, pulley assembly, ropes, grab bucket, okay, and all sort of things, and then you can describe it. So this is the grab dredger, and the actual photographs, you can see it looks something like this. Okay. So yeah, the actual shape of that grab dredger or grab bucket you can see in the bottom left photo, the one which I am just outlining with red. Okay, so this is the shape of that grab bucket. Okay. And this opening, what you see, so both the halves, sometimes both the halves can move in opposite direction, or in some cases only one part of the or one half of the clamshell it moves. Okay, generally it's the second one, that only one part of the clamshell moves. You can see in this, if I just number the photos so that it will be easy for explanation. Okay, so in photo number 2 and 4 you will see predominantly those wires. Okay, these are the wires which are connecting or connected to the just a single part or one half of the grab bucket or clamshell. Okay, so this in figure number 3 or in all the figures, this shape of or this accessory that you see, that is nothing but the grab bucket or the clamshell. Okay. And then this is the revolving crane that you have, and then this is the boom of the crane, and everything else is the same as it was shown in the sketch. Okay, so it's nothing different. And you can see this huge the crane or everything is mounted on this huge floating platform, and this huge floating platform, this is nothing but a barge, okay, or a hopper also it is said, hopper or a hooper. Okay. So this is the grab dredging or clamshell dredging. Now why is the word grab? Because what will happen is, if I suppose consider this as the bed of the water body, so whatever, suppose I just try to draw, it's a pretty bad sketch, but bear with me. Okay, so suppose this is that kind of a grab, and now I'm going to lower it down till the bottom of the water body, and then once it goes to the bottom, then I'm going to open it. Okay, so whatever is the arrangement I have for opening that grab, so I'll open it. Okay, so suppose for opening I am just moving this part of the bucket. Okay, so I'll open it. Now once you open it, now again you have to close it. Okay, so you open it, then again you close it, and while closing, what it will do is it will scrape out all the material which is in contact with that face of the bucket. Okay, and then it will collect all that material into this space which is there inside. Okay, you can see in this photo number 2 and 4. So in photo number 2, this is the photo where the bucket is being taken out of the water, okay, after it has excavated or it has collected the material. So if you see, when it comes up, all the water which is there in that bucket, that will be displaced, and only solid or most of the solids will be remaining in this space which is there between the two halves of the bucket. Okay. And in photo number 2, you can see that bucket is being emptied into a second barge or a second hopper which has the storage compartment, because as we have seen that the third part of our dredging process is the disposal. So either you dispose it then and there itself, but as this all photos are showing that the dredger is somewhere in between the water body and there is no land nearby. So what is done is, in that case, you have another barge which is just used for storage purpose, or it has some vessel, huge vessel, and in that whatever is the excavated material, that is dumped, and then that barge goes to the land side or to the area wherever it has to be dumped within the sea itself. So it goes there and then it dumps. Okay. So this fourth photo, it shows that process of dumping. Okay. So this is the mechanism by which your grab shell or grab or clamshell dredging works. Now, if I tell you to write out general points, so there might be one question, that how come without any drilling operation or without any tools which are inserted inside the ocean bed, how we can excavate the material. So now again, each of the dredging technique that we are going to study in detail. So each of the dredging technique, it has some advantages and some disadvantages as well. Okay? So if you think over the advantages of or suitability, that where this kind of dredging can be used, so could you think of any of the situation related to soil where you can use this kind of dredging? And now I have told you, I have given you a pictorial representation that what it is, that in figure number 3, what you are seeing this bucket, grab bucket. So you have this bucket, you lower it down into the sea or water body. Okay? You close it. So while closing, it collects all the soil or whatever is the material it has to excavate, and then once it is closed, then you lift it. While lifting it, disperses all the water, and then you dump it at the desired location. So this is the process. Now you tell that for which type of bed quality, okay, that water bed, what should be the quality of the material of the bed of that water body, so that we can dredge it using this clamshell dredging. Obviously, if you logically think, you can't dredge a hard rock using this grab or clamshell dredging, because there is no means that hard rock will be drilled by this bucket. This bucket, what it is doing, it is just scraping off the surface of that bed of your water body. So if I have to point out some details about it, so it is commonly used where you have a soil, okay, submerged under the water body. So it might be a lake, it might be a river, a channel, even an ocean or a sea. But whatever is the material that you have to dredge underneath this water body, that if it is soil, okay, or sort of that thing, even sand is not that much preferred, because sand, it will disperse off with the water itself. Soil, thoda to bhi it will try to settle down in the bucket itself, but sand, it remains dispersed for a lot of time in the water, and in the process of your bucket being lifted along with the water, a lot of sand also will be washed away. So there is no use of then using this kind of dredging technique. So this is used mainly in case where you know that you have a soil underneath. And then the capacity of this clamshell or this bucket itself, it decides that what will be the cycle time and what will be the productivity of that grab dredger. So the bucket size, it varies from, or it's as small as 1 meter cube up to 20 meter cube also. So now 20 meter cube, it's a huge bucket. Okay. If you just imagine the volume that it can take, 20 meter cube. Okay. And then if you see the mechanism, now I have explained you the mechanism. What's there in the mechanism is simply some ropes, some pulley assembly or pulley arrangement, which is managing all this dredging work using clamshell dredging. So the opening, the excavation and closing, all it is controlled by ropes. Okay. So obviously there is no hi-fi machinery involved or sophisticated machinery involved. So it's economical in that ways. But again, there is a limit. It is economical only when you have soils, and that too at a moderate depth. So in dredging, always remember, whenever you describe any method of dredging, there are three things, or at least two things that are important: that what type of material it can dredge. Okay. So what is the type of material that the particular dredging method is capable of dredging? Then the depth of dredging. Okay. So some techniques, they are suitable only for shallow depth, some are for moderate, and some are for deep sea excavation. So that is the second thing that you have to include. So make sure that in your answer, or whenever you describe any dredging technique, or you have to even select any dredging technique for your site purpose, you have to understand first that what is the type of material that I have to dredge. Whether it's a soil, it's mud, it's sand, it's a mixture of soil and sand, it is hard rock, or anything. It can be any geological formation as well. Maybe in some cases you have to go deeper into geology, and then you have to be or you have to find out specifically that which kind of rock is also there. So if there is a rock but it's a soft rock, so in that case you can even there is no need of drilling. And then what is the depth of dredging? So that depth of dredging will decide which type you have to use. Now if you have seen this clamshell dredging of ours, or grab dredging, so what it uses is mainly the grab bucket, ropes, and this crane. So the capacity or the depth up to which this bucket can go, that totally depends on what is the capacity of your crane, the load taking capacity, and what is the length of this boom section. Okay, so how far it is projected, so that the length of the rope is more in that case. So that's the thing, that it is dependent, or that depth factor in this case, it is dependent on your ropes, the capacity of your crane, and the length of your boom. And the advantages, if you see, so the distance between resting and digging point, it can be kept long depending on the length of boom, of course. Okay, so as I told you, that crane is able to revolve 360-degree. Okay. So even if you dredge it from some few meters away from your dredger, and then you dump it in the hopper which is placed near to the dredger, so that can be also done. And moderately provides good working condition in wet soil also, so no need of having a completely dry soil. And it has capacity to dredge at greater depth only provided that your crane, it is capable of handling that much length of the rope and giving that much pull to that rope. Okay. And as I told you, what you all need is, for working with this machinery also, you need some workers who can handle that crane. So main is the operation of that crane. So for that you can have a semi-skilled worker as well, or just an operator who is very good at handling the cranes. Okay. And then costing wise, if you see, so as I told you, no sophisticated equipment, so it is easily available, and the initial cost is also very low for this. So this is about the grab or clamshell dredging. Just a few more photos I have included. Okay, so you can see the same picture in, or same components everywhere, that you have a barge or a hooper, you have a revolving crane, and then in many photos you'll find this, that you have another barge over here, which is the collection barge, in which all the material which is dredged is collected, and then it is dumped somewhere at the desired destination. Okay. So this, you can see this, they have just demarcated area, so they are dredging from this area, and then they are dumping it in the barge, and then this barge goes to the destination. Same is the case here also. You can see now, instead of a barge, you have a ship kind of thing, and then it has this vessel inside it, in which the material is dumped. Okay. So this is with the grab or clamshell dredging. The next method that we have in this mechanical type is the ladder or a bucket kind of dredging. Okay. Now ladder or a bucket, what happens in this is, here we don't have a crane, but you all must have seen a conveyor belt. Okay, a conveyor belt which is there at the crusher, or conveyor belt which is there in production line of any factory. Okay. So conveyor belt is nothing but it is a continuous belt start point, end point, and then it goes on rotating about that start and end point. Okay, so that's a conveyor. So that conveyor concept is applied in this ladder or bucket dredging. So what is done is, this is the conveyor that I'm talking about. Okay, you have rollers. This is the conveyor, this is the roller, and this is the actual belt. And over that conveyor belt, you have a bucket attached. So if I just, this encircled portion is nothing but the bucket. So if I just draw a bigger view of that bucket, so it is something like this. Okay, it may have teeth over here. Okay, so this is the bucket. It is obviously hollow from inside. And then these buckets are arranged in such a way, depending on the movement of the conveyor, that when it goes into the or underneath the water, and it comes in contact with the surface or bed of that water body, so this teeth, or even if you provide just a bucket, so this edge, this edge will scrape off the material that has to be dredged. And in the process of scraping it, that bucket is also moving. So while scraping, it will be collected into this bucket itself. Okay. Now in this, if you see in this sketch what you have here, so in this, the movement of the bucket is something like this. So the bucket first goes from here, and then once the bucket is filled, so it then becomes upright. Okay, so open part comes out on the top, and then it goes above, and maybe here somewhere, here you can see this is another bucket that they have shown. And then you have a top tumbler in which the bucket is then inverted. Okay, and whatever is the material, it is then dumped on this side. Okay, and then again that empty bucket, it is still attached to the conveyor, so it comes down. Okay, sort of like this. So here they have not drawn all the buckets, only to avoid the complexity in the figure. But here you can assume, or not assume, here this line which I have highlighted, so on this line all buckets are attached one after the another, having a specific spacing. Okay, so this cycle goes on. Okay, and if you see the shape or pattern in which this conveyor belt is accommodated, so it is slanting one. Okay, and through the ship only, or either sometimes it is attached at the end of the ship, or it is attached in the middle. In that case, the ship is having a hollow section in between, a through section, and through that it is lowered, and then it is scraping off this bottom. So if you see the components that they have shown, so you have a bottom tumbler, top tumbler. Bottom and top tumbler is nothing but the end points of that conveyor belt, so over which your bucket tumbles. Okay, tumbles means it just gets inverted. And then you have a ladder hoist wire. So this is the old arrangement in which the conveyor belt, it was maintained in position using this wires, and these wires were then connected to this end. Okay, so it was the head wire. So this is the arrangement of your ladder or a bucket dredging. And again, now if you consider, here also you don't have any drilling equipment. Only what you are doing is you are having a simple bucket open at one end, and then you are just scraping off the surface of that bed using the conveyor movement. Okay, so whatever is the material which has to be dredged, it has to be very loose. Okay, grab or clamshell mein to bhi you had some force which was there due to that opening and closing of your grab, because if you see size wise, it's a huge grab or a huge bucket that we use in the first type of clamshell dredging. So that huge bucket, it will be having some weight, obviously, though it's hollow, it will be having some weight. So when you open and close such a huge hollow portion or such heavy bucket, there will be some force which is applied. Okay, so that force can be used to loosen up the soil and then it can collect it. But in this case of bucket dredging or ladder dredging, you don't have any movable part in the bucket as well. The bucket is fixed, the position of the bucket is fixed, everything is fixed. Only thing is only thing you can vary is the speed with which the bucket will revolve around that conveyor belt. Okay, so we have to only rely on that speed. So we have to make sure that whatever soil we or whatever material we are excavating, that is a loose soil. Okay, so this is the thing you have to keep in mind. And the shape of bucket, it will be changed according to the subsoil conditions, obviously. It's not like every time you will be having this shape. So maybe sometimes you will be having a completely circular shape also. Sometimes a semicircular or an arch one. Okay, sometimes even a trapezoid will do. So that totally depends that what is the type of the soil or material you are excavating. So this is the photo. Now this is purposefully I have shown started with the old photo of ladder dredging. So here you can see these buckets. These are the filled buckets with some material. Okay, the ones I am circling. So I am circling only the top surface or top edge of the buckets. So you see they are arranged in a way that it looks like a ladder. Okay, so that's why the name, you have two names. Either you call it a ladder dredging or bucket dredging. Bucket dredging because obviously we are dredging it using the collection is using a bucket, and ladder you can see that the formation is of a ladder. Okay, and then you have this conveyor belt which is moving. Now in this case, it's the same that uh, at the bottom portion you see the arrow that I have marked. So this is the direction of the movement of empty buckets, and then it goes inside, and then from here your buckets they come up upright with collected material, and then in this cabin you see sort of cabin, it will go inside, it will be inverted, whatever is the material it will be thrown on the other side of this assembly, and then that empty bucket it will again roll down from here. Okay, so in this way this cycle continues. And if you see this arrangement, you have all the pulley arrangement and everything which holds this conveyor. Okay, and obviously the conveyor moves using some motor. So this is the old one, old bucket dredging, and here you can see again some new pictures of it. Okay, so on the left side it's a model which is shown to you. So this is the boat, and this is, as I told you, either it's attached to one end of the boat, or in many cases it is there in the center of the boat, and then your boat is having a section, hollow or through section, in which you have this thing. So here also you can see the empty bucket is going in this direction and the filled ones are coming up in this direction. Okay, and this framework which is holding the conveyor and the buckets, it is supported using this hydraulic jacks which are attached over here. Okay, so these are the hydraulic jacks, or the rope assembly also it may have. Now again, if I tell you to write this disadvantage or limitation of this, so the very first limitation that should come to your mind is the depth at which this dredging can, or this kind of dredger can be operated. Because if you see, this depth is not much as compared to the grab or clamshell dredging. Grab or clamshell mein kya tha? You had ropes, so if you just increase the length of the rope, you can go deeper and deeper, or you can take that bucket deeper inside the water body. But here, even if you try to extend this uh, ladder or this framework, so you will be having a limitation, because you have to balance the CG of your boat also, or CG of your ship as well. Okay, you just can't provide an infinitely long ladder which goes inside the water body, because in that case the moment on this center part of your boat, that will increase, and it might also overtopple or overturn your ship or boat. Okay, so you have a restriction on the depth, so this is generally used for a lower depth. Okay, and as I told you, the material also which is excavated, it should be a loose one, otherwise the bucket will not get filled and the dredger will not be useful. So we'll stop here for now, and we'll continue. We still have one more type left in this mechanical type of dredging, that is excavator type or open type, but we'll continue that further in the next lecture. So for today, I hope you have understood these two types. First, we had seen grab or clamshell. The main component is the grab bucket or the clamshell, which is attached with the help of ropes and pulley assembly to a crane, and that crane is a revolving crane. And depending on the power of the crane and length of your ropes and length of this boom, you can lower the grab bucket to the desired depth, and then you can open it and close it, and that opening and closing will collect the material, and then you can dump it at the desired destination. Okay. So this is the thing. And then in ladder or bucket type, we had seen that you have series of buckets which are arranged on a conveyor belt kind of assembly, but that conveyor belt is a continuous rotating in a loop, and then merely by just giving speed through that bucket or motion to that bucket, we are scraping the surface of the bed, and then we are collecting the material. So these are the two types. So we'll stop here for today.